Hello, I am Varinder and welcome to another session of Tech Talks. If you like what you see, do subscribe, share, like and comment. Today we are going to talk about the basic foundation of all operations and maintenance activity and asset management, and that is the asset register. Assets, specifically in our context, include the infrastructure or the equipment that the organization has invested in. And hence the eventual goal of asset management is to ensure that the assets of the organization are accounted for, maintained and put to most optimal use. We can't do that if we don't track the assets and their performance in a systematic manner. The quantity of assets is usually large and assets also keep getting added and removed, and that is the reason that the asset register becomes the start point of any asset management endeavor. The asset registers are used for operations and maintenance teams and also the finance teams, albeit for a different reason. The maintenance team needs it for maintaining the infrastructure, make maintenance plans and have related information all in one place. And the finance team needs it to track the book value of the asset, apply depreciation, track repair cost for the audits and valuation, as well as identify future investments. The asset register maintained by the finance team is usually called the fixed asset register, and that maintained by the maintenance teams is called, the asset register. One would generally expect the two registers to have the same base of assets, but it never is, at least on the face of it. Arguably, because the purpose is different and the asset naming, convention, identification, grouping, etc. is different, and the two different teams are not really interested in the other's information. While there is no harm in maintaining two different registers, what really suffers is any intelligent actionable information on the asset condition or life cycle cost for individual assets. And hence it makes a lot of sense to have the same base and identification for both registers so that information can be rationally extracted whenever required. At a very basic level, the asset register can be defined as a list of assets in a facility. And most of the times, it remains just that, a list, which is never reviewed, updated or consulted for any information. Ideally, the asset register should have as much information as you need, and all maintenance related activities should flow from the asset register. If you are just starting out, having the basic information plugged in, and of course, more information can be added as and when required or deemed fit. A good asset register will help in many ways. First, all the asset information is available in a single place. Tracking of assets is possible. Quantities, location and specifications are easily available for identification of assets and can also aid in tagging of assets. Development of maintenance plans is possible. Forecasting of annual budgets, warranty information, condition of assets at any given time, and development of spares inventory or material catalog. So what all information do we need to include in the asset register? One, there should be an asset ID. Each asset should have a unique ID for identification. Asset name should be there, asset description or specification should be available, the make and the model number of the asset serial number as applicable, use asset tag if serial number is not available, asset location should be available, date that the asset is put into service or taken out of service, the purchase value of the asset, the warranty, whether it is applicable or not, and the condition of the asset. If you are keen, you can also track financial information by adding the cost center, depreciation, cumulative repair value, maintenance expenses, etc. However, you need to keep certain things in mind for your asset register to work for you. Decide the level of detail that you want to get into. No point putting in information that you are never going to use. When adding items, do not go below the level of lowest maintainable unit, that is the smallest unit that needs a maintenance plan. Equipment in large quantities can be clubbed together with a link to details in a separate sheet. For example, lights, chairs, fire extinguishers, etc. Hierarchy should be created to group equipment together and make it easy to find the equipment even if you do not have the asset ID. It also helps in defining the interrelationship between two assets and how one can impact the other. Ideally, there should be at least an asset group followed by a subgroup. The grouping will also make it easier to assign and identify equipment through asset IDs and also help in defining the parent-child association, that is the main system and the sub-equipment. If you have a CMMS, it will have the parent-child relationships built in and will help you, assist you in putting the data in. The numbering or the naming convention needs to be consistent, and more levels of grouping can be created to ensure uniqueness. Also, try to match the naming with that in your drawings to avoid confusion. For distribution networks, it is better to identify and indicate zones rather than identify each component separately. For example, a fire alarm loop. You can identify a loop as a single entity rather than list all detectors, call points and signaling devices separately. Similarly, a chilled water line or a HVAC ducting can be identified in parts rather than listing all items. You still need details in a separate sheet to ensure that all items are covered. As more information is available, you can start tracking metrics like mean time between failures, mean time to repair, repair cost, etc. You should update the asset register on as it happens basis. Do not leave any update for later. The asset register should be reviewed or audited every 6 months to ensure that it is current. Some of you who are using a CMMS, that is a computerized maintenance management system, and the asset register may have been created already. But please remember that the information fed into that was collated by humans and may have mistakes which are further corrupted by bulk uploading of the data. Therefore, it is all the more essential to review the information available in a CMMS. To summarize, accurately tracking information is a critical investment for your facilities department and the maintenance plan. The asset register allows the team to access the data required for maintenance, budgeting, better planning, better procurement choices, and also better insight into asset performance. And if you don't have one or have one which is not accurate, you can presume that it is causing a loss to your organization. That's it from me now. Till next time, this is Varinder signing off.